Welcome to Loon's Leaves, y'all. Today we're going to be talking about affordable plant products. Welcome back to Loon's Leaves, y'all. And it's no secret that on this channel I love discounts. So today we're going to be doing a haul of all different kinds of plant products from the dollar store and Walmart. I've talked about a few discount stores before on this channel for different plant pots, products you can use for your plants, and different items you might be using to label your plants or just generally make your home a happier, houseplant friendly place. And those places are IKEA. There's a few different videos I will have linked below if you're interested in that, as well as Etsy and supporting small shop owners at this time. And additionally, I've talked a little bit about Amazon. So we are going to be focusing today on the dollar store and Walmart. And believe me when I tell you, I found some really good gems this time going into both of those retail stores. So I'm going to kind of haul a few of those items for you now. And I will also, if I'm not already, roll some footage of each of the stores and kind of this displays and products and options that they have available for you. So I'm going to start with the dollar store. The dollar store around this time every year, right at the start of spring, it's late February now, so a little early to be putting it out, but they're putting out all their products for spring, and they are putting out different plant pots, soils, gardening tools. There was an extensive amount of gardening tools. I was honestly pretty surprised to see. Shears for cutting things, little mats for your knees if you're bending down and weeding and things like that, and different hooks and things that you can use for your patios and hanging your plants. So I'm going to get into what I've purchased from the dollar store, starting with this container. So I've purchased a few different planter options from the dollar store in the past. Most of them have been a plastic material, so this is some sort of plastic. And as much as I don't like to put more plastic on the earth, sometimes it's necessary to purchase, and in this case, this is a really affordable option. Everything from the dollar store is $1. Dollar Tree and Dollar General will probably also be carrying a lot of the same products as that you might see in this video. And so generally their plant pots are pretty great. They usually have drainage holes in the bottom. This one has a saucer even, so you can bottom water if you wish and place your plant right back on the saucer, and has good drainage, things like that. I did also see while I was there a few options for terracotta pots. They were smaller in size. I've seen these in the dollar store before, but they had kind of like a nice white brushed terracotta that was a little bit different than things I've seen in the dollar store in the past. My second favorite is the dollar store rocks. So these little stones come in this size bag from the dollar store, and I use these all the time for everything. If a pot doesn't have drainage, I'll put it in the bottom of the plant pot to add a little bit of extra drainage towards the bottom. I'll put them on top of some of the plants, like this one here has bigger stones to keep my dog or other kind of pests off of the soil layer. So these are a great option and really affordable. I do also like, there's about the same size package of smaller stones from the Target dollar spot right now that they have, because it's springtime and everybody's putting out their plant stuff, that are another wonderful choice. Additionally, from the dollar store, I often purchase little tags. These are a 10 pack, so there's 10 of these little tags in here, and you can write on them with a whiteboard marker if you wish and erase it later on, or you can write on them with permanent marker and keep them forever. It's a great way to label your plants, especially if you're a new plant parent and you kind of want to get used to using the scientific name, or you just want to know the common name when you go to reference it for friends or people who are over at your house. As far as these are for actually labeling plants and herbs and things outside and inside. These, however, you can find in their craft section, and they're just a 4-pack of little, they have like a clothespin on the back, and I think these are a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. You could write on them with a nice chalk marker or permanent, maybe white paint marker to label your plants, and I would say these are only for indoor use. These you could use for anything, I would say, outside or inside. These more of an indoor situation. just because of the wood, and I'm not sure what it's treated with. From the dollar store, I have also purchased many times their glass. Their glassware section is some of the best I've ever seen in a discount store. They have tons of different sizes of glassware. There's taller versions of this as well as shorter versions of this exact same diameter glass vase. They also have round ones that you could make into terrariums, fishbowl-like shapes that maybe would be a more open terrarium situation for you. They have different colored glass and things like that. And get creative with it. Some of their glasswares in the dining section could also be used as terrariums or little plant kind of stands with a glass situation going on. Overall, really affordable and really good quality glass. I've never had an issue with any of the products that I've bought at the dollar store that I'm going to show you in this video. So I even have a propagation going behind me in one of the dollar store glass vessels that's the same size. These are some Monstera leaves that I took off my, oh my goodness, that I took off my Monstera Deliciosa months ago, and they've been sitting in here because I'm just a lazy plant mom and have to figure out what to do with them or who to give them to, things like that. And you can see they are getting some good roots. There's also some water lines on here. Those are just from the water levels dropping, and I have never found an issue with any of that washing off of the dollar store glass either. So you could use it for your fanciest flowers in your home, or you could use it for propagating purposes like I do. I have a couple of other items. This item here, one of my favorites from the dollar store, this is just jute twine, and I use this for tying plants onto moss poles. I don't really use moss poles that often, so I guess more like a dowel rod. If I'm trying to prop up a plant, and I can put a little clip of it in here from my Monstera, if I'm trying to prop up a big plant, I'll use dowel rods just because I like the way the wood looks better. It's not as big as a moss pole, and I'll either tie it on with this or some little tomato vine wrap that I found at the hardware store. So either one of these works. This is definitely the more affordable option and works great, is weatherproof, isn't gonna fail on you. You could also use it for macrames and different things like that as far as your plants goes, or if you're making a kokedama, which I will put in the cards above, you can use that for kind of rolling up your kokedama ball around your plant. This product that I'm going to show you next was something new that I saw at the dollar store. I've never seen this before, and I have a similar product from Walmart as well that I will show you. And this might just look like your average plant saucer to put under a larger pot, but I noticed that it has these little roller wheels underneath. So this is a great way for moving around your plants around your home, or if you live in an apartment like we do and you kind of have this patio situation. When I do my spring gardening, all of our vegetables and herbs and things have to be planted outdoors inside a pot. Like there's no ground that I can put my plants into. There's no dirt for me to use or community garden. So it's nice to be able to move all of our plants around, especially if the weather gets bad, there's a bad storm. I can move them closer to our apartment and not as far out onto the balcony. So really, really affordable option for like rolling plant saucer. Only $1. The last item I had to put up here because my dog gets curious around anything that is even remotely fuzzy. I wouldn't be surprised if he wanders on over right now. This is just, I don't know if it's a it's microfiber dusting mop pad. So this is for a mop. I, however, don't use these for that purpose. I have another one that I purchased from the dollar store. These are great for wiping off your plant's leaves, just from dust, or if you're using neem oil to wipe it on there as well. Fantastic, and you can throw it in the wash and wash it over and over and use it over and over again. So excellent for that. I like the ones that are mop pad size because they're a little bit smaller than your average microfiber kind of fluffy cleaning cloth, and they're a little bit thicker so they hold up better in the wash, especially the ones from the dollar store. You can also use it to clean the sides of your terrarium. Great way to get off all that kind of gunk and grime and water deposits and things like that. So another great find from the dollar store. I think that pretty much wraps everything up from the dollar store. There's one item that I was hoping to find and I couldn't. I bought it in the past and it's a small plastic hanging terrarium. If I can find it online, I'll insert a photo. I bought it in the past, planted it up and gave it away to a friend. I think it had succulents in it or something. And it was just this really nice hanging terrarium. It had a little loop for you to hang it from, a small opening. It was plastic, but it looked nice enough to be glass. And it would be interesting. See, I have to move it because he's interested. Sorry, buddy. It would be interesting to have multiples of those hanging. I feel like it would make it look more high end. So moving on to Walmart now, I'll roll some footage of Walmart. The footage I took there is a little long, so I might have to cut it off a little bit. I was so impressed, and I was just in Walmart this past week, so it's mid to late February, I would say, on the later side of February. And I was so impressed by the displays they had in the garden section of Walmart. My Walmart doesn't really carry many plants. At most, they usually have one table or two of plants, maybe a couple shelves of succulents at the end caps in the garden section, and mostly everything else is grills and bird feeders and things like that. So I was shocked to see how much of their space that they dedicated to patio aesthetics and decorating, as well as planting and gardening supplies for the upcoming spring. So the next few items I bought are mostly for our patio outside that I will be working on when it gets a little warmer out here. We live in Pennsylvania, so right now there's about 4 to 5 inches of snow on the ground and it is close to freezing. So not ready for spring yet, but I saw this and I had to get it because I'm sure that these things are going to be snapped up pretty quickly. The first thing is this hanging, and it's a little bit tangled right now, this hanging planter. It has wonderful drainage in the bottom. Sorry, let me get it a little closer. It has wonderful drainage in the bottom here with these vents to let the water out. You could also bottom water your plant if you wanted to through pouring it in this little hole right here. And if it gets overwatered, if it's raining or something and your planter fills up, this will also be a nice way to get that water out of there. And I thought that the hanging part of it looked nice. I like that they went with a black metal and not a silver metal. I think it looks a little bit more high end. I think the neutral color looks pretty high end. And this is a decent diameter. I believe this is, 12 inches across. So really, really good diameter and fairly nice, sturdy plastic. And I believe this was only $6.68. So there was some tax tacked onto there at the end as well. But for $6, almost $7, I think this is a pretty great find. Additionally, I also found this. It's stuck in one of the other products. This plant hanger is what it's labeled by. And most of the items that I purchased, I think actually all the items I purchased from Walmart are from Mainstays, this brand here. But they also carry Home and Gardens, and Home and Gardens section was full of terrarium and more indoor houseplant pots, and it had a stunning selection. Again, I was really genuinely surprised by Walmart this past week. Sometimes they really get me. Every once in a while, I get surprised by the quality that you can find there. And these are definitely some of those products. So this is a plant hanger. You put it on the railing of your patio or porch. Here's a picture actually. Let's just use our resources, Sarah. So you can hang it off the railing of your patio or deck. And what I love about it is they thought to put these little toggles here that you can turn so you can extend it for the I guess the width of the railing that you're putting it on. So if you want it to be tighter, you can kind of adjust it to your own needs. So again, loved this find. This is not a plastic. This is a sturdy black metal. Again, I think the black matte coating that they put on this with the paint makes it look a little bit more high end than a silver metal. And it seems really sturdy. It definitely seems strong enough to hold a plant on there, especially if it gets windy during the summertime when we have bad storms here in PA. And the reason I purchased this guy, he has some products in him, but I purchased these plastic guys from the dollar store so that way they could hold some of our herbs and other plants out there. And I think this duo is gonna look really nice on our patio. So I'll probably do some sort of tour or planting process on the channel so you guys will be able to see it. But yeah, I think this duo looks really nice. Little dollar store, Walmart collaboration there. And that hanging planter, I believe, I have the receipt here, was only $6.97. So again, with a little tax added on there, $7 for that, pretty dang great. And I bought 3 of those, as well as 3 of the gray planters from the dollar store. The next thing is the Walmart version of the plant caddy that I just showed you from the dollar store. This one is not as inconspicuous as the one from the dollar store. The wheels are definitely out there and showing, but I think this is a little bit more sturdy. So this again is the black metal matte color. I think it looks pretty high end. The wheels, however, are plastic, so I'm a bit worried about them. But this was only $3 and some change, $3.46. And so these are kind of just, I'm gonna test them out. I'm gonna see how it works for us. Maybe we need to go up in price a little, get a little more high end with our plant caddies, but I don't know, the dollar store and Walmart could surprise me, and these seem great and should fit our needs pretty well as far as the size and everything goes. So again, was really impressed with these, and I bought 2 of these. To finish it off, I also bought, and you can find these at the dollar store and Walmart. You can pretty much find them anywhere where plants are being sold, any garden section. And these are just these little plastic saucers that you can put underneath your plants. I particularly liked this shape, so this is why I bought them from Walmart, and they were not any more money than you would pay at the dollar store. They might have been $1.25 at the most. Yeah, $1.25 for these. So I paid a few more cents, but I got a bigger size. Sometimes they don't offer the really big ones at the dollar store. And this was an interesting size to me because you can put multiple plants in a row on this saucer. So it got 2 of these. And for the same price, I also got these bigger ones, the 12-inch ones, or these might be 14 inches, to put some plants on. And I don't really use these unless my plants are outside. Then I use them in case it rains, and then I don't have to go out and water as much because then the plants just suck up the water from the rain out of the bottom of this again. But I do use these for bottom watering my indoor plants as well. So I'll put multiple plants on this saucer, fill the saucer with water, and then leave them there for 15 to 20 minutes, and they soak up all the water, and then they are bottom watered for the day. So I think that is all the products. I think I remember to pull everything out. Just the saucers, the hanging planters, and then the railing kind of hook planter things from Walmart. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. There are some really great options, even if they're at a discounted price. Sometimes we all just can't afford the lifestyle of terrain or anthropology as much as we would like to. And some of these cheaper options you can also DIY. So you could paint some of these, you could modify them to fit your needs in any way, a little bit easier than maybe some higher end plant options. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next Sunday.